All right, thank you for the one or two of you who will be watching this video. Appreciate it greatly, and let's get into this. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great today. And today we're going to be talking about The Running Man. Now, this is basically loose upon the novel by Stephen King when he was going under the name of Richard Bachman back in the day. This is loosely based upon that novel. So there are some major differences. One is, of course, the main character, Ben Richards. In the novel, he's more of your average, normal guy who's kind of got anti-government kind of thing. He's kind of a smart aleck. That's the reason he can't keep a job. He also has a wife and kids. And the whole reason why in the book he joins this TV show, The Running Man, is because his child is sick and he needs to get medicine. And so he goes on there to get money, knowing that most likely he will not survive this game, but his family should be able to be set for life from the money that he earns. So in the movie version of Running Man, Ben Richards, of course, is not your average day man. He's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's really buffed and strong, and also he has like a military background, and he gets put into a military prison because he was ordered to basically bomb a bunch of civilians who were rioting, and he refused to do so, so they put him in military prison. He escapes it. He eventually gets caught, and he gets put into this TV show, The Running Man. There's also other differences, like his friends who are in the movie are not in the book as his friends, like, was it Coughlin, I think? No, is it Coughlin? He's more like in the book, he's a fugitive kind of. He is like a kind of a bad guy kind of thing. But they're not really close. They don't reunite. They don't do anything together. They get separated, and such and this. While in the movie, he gets like two sidekicks. The woman in the book and in the movie are similar. They're both Spanish, but in the books, it's someone that he kind of kidnaps a little bit. He kind of hijacks her car, makes her drive him around and such. And this one, he does kind of kidnap her, but they kind of have like a more of a relationship as the show goes on. Well, in a lot of ways, it is like the book, but just in different places. Anyways, The Running Man is a game. Get back to the movie, is a game where supposedly criminals go on there and they get stalked by. They get hunted down by these people called stalkers, and they got these special gimmicks. You got a guy like plays hockey, which is kind of weird because he's like an Asian guy. I don't really picture Asian guys playing hockey, but that's how it is in here. You got a guy who's like uses electricity, has this thing. You got a guy who uses a chainsaw, and then you got Fireball, a guy who uses fire, played by Jim Brown. So this movie is great. It's all action. You got your perfect Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liners in this one that are, his staple, especially in those 80s movies, his early movies. And he does this role really great. Got great action sequences, special effects, which were really great, for their time period. They're kind of a little outdated in some instances, just throughout the years. But the person who steals the show is our villain, Richard Dawson. He plays a great villain in this. He plays Killiam. He's a sleazeball. He's plays that role great. From what I heard, now this is rumors, I don't really know Richard Dawson personally, but it seems like his character is somewhat how he really was in real life. I don't know how much that is true. Probably a little bit exaggerated, However, he does steal the show, this movie, with this great performance. And from what I've heard, they actually had to cut some of his scenes out because they were so great that they really overshadowed Arnold Schwarzenegger's spotlight a little bit. And, I think he still kind of steals the show from Arnold. This is one of Arnold's better performances and such. So one of the great scenes, as you see behind me, is, Arnold always says that line, "I'll be back." And to me, Richard Dawson's character has the best comeback of that, Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "Hey, Killian, I'll be back." And then he says, "Only in a rerun," which I think is great. You don't really see that very often in Arnold's movies where, he'll say, "I'll be back," and then the person he's up against has a comeback like that. But yeah, that's really great. And it's just one of the cool interactions that we see between these two characters as they go out throughout the movie. They never really go head to head very much. I mean, you got there's mostly conversation, and at the very end, they don't really fight because, Killian, he's not really a fighter. Look at the guy, he's more of he's a commentator kind of thing, He's just your average age man who has power because he's able to manipulate his way to the top. He would have to be able to do that considering his physique. So this movie does have a lot of political tone. Back then when I was watching this movie, it was like, stuff like that wouldn't really happen in today's society. You got the false media. Anyways, it kind of laid out the groundwork for, your government is bad or society is bad when these things happen. And so you get this theme, and then we're starting to see this more into our society today, which I wouldn't think as a kid watching this. I think when I was probably like 10 or 12 years old when I first saw this movie, I'll be like, that would never happen in America. That's like Russia kind of thing, because we still were in the Cold War during that time and stuff like that. But we do see some of this happening today. Now, when this DVD that I own was all about the rise of reality TV. I get the special features, and that's what it's all about because reality TV plays a big role in this movie. And then when they released this DVD version with the special features, reality TV is starting to become a main thing. And they didn't really touch on the other stuff that was in this movie. But in today's world, a lot of the political stuff that is featured in this movie is actually happening in our time, which is kind of interesting and as well as scary. For example, the role that the media plays in the world, in this universe of the Running Man, is something we see in our world today. We see that at the beginning, Ben Richards' character refuses to, shoot his own citizens on the ground, which hopefully so far that has not been going on in our government today, where we're killing our own citizens, especially not like a mass murder, which was something they was asking him to do. However, they manipulated the scene and the news where he didn't refuse to do it, that he actually did it, and that's why he was sent to prison. And so to cover up the government's conspiracy kind of thing. And we kind of see that in today's media, where our media will cover certain events and get the story wrong. A couple of instances would be like a few years ago, you had like the Covenant kids, where it looked like these white kids were bullying these Native Americans, and we only got to see like half of the truth with the video. We didn't get to see the whole picture. And once you saw the whole picture of the whole sequence of the video, you got to see what really happened. In this movie, it's similar to that, but they kind of like changed the whole scene where it looked like he said he was going to do it, and his superiors were telling him not to do it, when we know for a fact that it was the other way around. I mean, we haven't gotten to that part of the media where they're actually like able to reimagine the scenes. It is that they only show part of a video or part of the story that makes their side look good. And I'm talking about whatever side of the political aspect they're in, not just one side or the other side, just in general. Let's see. So we're seeing that. We're also seeing how another key part of this movie is the censorship that we see in this one, which is kind of funny because we have man, what's his name? The guy from Fleetwood Mac. You know, he's like one of the counter people against the government, and he's talking about how his music's been censored and stuff like that. So we see in there how the government's censoring even music and TV shows and like speech. There's a part where Arnold Schwarzenegger tells his friend, stop going around to teaching the kids the Constitution and stuff like that. And we kind of see this in today's society where if you don't believe a certain way, you don't talk, if you don't follow what the government wants you to say, they try to get Facebook or YouTube or these other outlets to censor you, to cut you out, and to make it where your voice cannot be heard. And even the Constitution, they're trying to change the Constitution of what the words in the Constitution means and stuff like that. So we do see this in our day as well. So it's kind of weird how, that world was seen as a dystopia. These are warning signs that your society is going bad, going foul. And then we see those same signs in our today's society as well. Not saying the movie predicted the future or anything, but it's just kind of weird how they kind of picture that. I mean, the movie does take place into the future. Supposedly, I think it's 2016, so it's pretty close. What's going on in the movie, what's going on here. In the movie, you see that the government or the economy completely collapsed. And today we got high inflation and stuff. So there's some similarities, but nothing hand in hand. Who knows? Maybe give us another 4 or 5 years. We might have criminals on a reality show running for their lives and having them be hunted down or something. Hopefully that doesn't get to that point. But it's but I don't know where to go from here. I'm going to start to wind this video down. The Running Man, though, it's very entertaining. You just sit back, eat some popcorn, enjoy Arnold's one-liners, the big battles he has with these people trying to kill him and his friends. If you like a little bit of romance, you get a little romance with him and the female lead, who does a very good job in this. She is like, today everybody's talking about, there was no strong female characters until recent times. She is a strong character in this movie. It's just in a different way that they show her being a strong, powerful woman. She's smart. She's able to do things that Arnold cannot do. She's just not physically strong, but she got her other attributes, and she contributes to their cause in other ways, which is great. And so I would definitely recommend this movie. If you're an Arnold fan, you've probably already seen this movie. If you're somebody who hasn't really seen any Arnold movies, you don't really like those, if you're wasn't born back then, you don't really like those 80s movies, this is a great 80s movie to jump into. You'll enjoy it. If you haven't seen an Arnold movie before, you'll watch this one. You'll want to see more of movies by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's really great. You'll enjoy the performance by Richard Dawson as Killian. I hope you enjoy this. If you're still around, thank you very much. I appreciate watching this. And until next time, goodbye.